Welcome, welcome. This is Gull Khan, your money mindset expert, and I help entrepreneurs to break free from the limiting beliefs, reverse their money shame, and to blast through the money blocks so that they can live a life of unlimited abundance. And today, this is a bit of a spontaneous live that I decided to do for this reason because it's a question that I keep getting asked quite a lot in the DMs and under my posts and the ads I'm running. And one of the questions that keeps coming up is, what do I mean by money blocks? So today's topic is smash through your money blocks. Now, the question is, very first one, what do I mean by money blocks? And I know for some of you, this term is being thrown around quite a lot. You know, you hear quite a lot of this, remove your money blocks, remove your abundance block, wealth blocks, and so forth. And a lot of the people are not really familiar with what money blocks exactly is and what do we mean by it. Now, I don't know other people's definition. When we give you my definition of what I understand or what I see money blocks to be. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of a background to how I look upon energy as well, because I am an energy healer. And the way I see energy is maybe different, a lot different from some others, because I do have, I do see cross dimensions. So that's a conversation for another time. But let's go on to this. What do I mean by money blocks? So for me, in essence, money block is an emotional trauma that you've either experienced yourself or have inherited or absorbed or witnessed from your parents. Okay. And along with that is that money blocks could also be genetics. It could be passed down hereditary. So if your ancestors went through a trauma, that trauma can be passed on through to you across a number of generations. Now, there's two ways to look upon that. How can my ancestors who were born 200 years ago have impact me, and how can their traumas impact me? Two ways. Let's look at it from the psychology point of view. Okay, so if you imagine that your psychology teaches us this, like this is science, by the way, your subconscious programming, which is 95% of who you are on a daily basis. So your subconscious programming about who you are, how you tie shoes, how you eat your food, everything about yourself has been programmed into you by your primary caregivers between the ages of 0 to 7, about 80% of it. Okay. So if 80% of your programming is done, then maybe about 5 to 10% in your teens, and maybe up to 5%, and maybe less, up into your early 20s. By your early 20s, you're done. Your programming is done, unless you actually actively change your emotional, subconscious programming. You are programmed to be the kind of person that you're meant to be. Okay, that's you done. Now, that psychology teaching us that you're basically, so your parents have programmed you subconsciously, okay, themselves as well. Keep in mind, your parents are not actively choosing to program these things into you. They are just behaving in a certain way, and you are taking on that behavior, that way of thinking. And so for example, food. If your parents ate spicy food, you'll eat spicy food. If your parents were active people, you'll be active person. If your parents drove in a certain way, you'll drive in a certain way. So those are the subconscious programming which I'm talking about. Now, bear with me, stay with me. The next part, the next section is probably going to be the bit which you're going to need to just stay with me for a bit, okay? So psychology teaches us that your subconscious programming comes from your parents, which comes from their parents, which comes from their parents, which comes from their parents, and therefore generation after generation after generation, until someone actively breaks that cycle, you are pretty much going to program your children the same way that 200 years ago your ancestors were programmed into the way they looked upon things, the way they did things. And this is very evident from how people behave. They behave very similar to their tribe, to the way their families are, and so forth. Okay, so that's psychology. Now look upon energy wise, right? Energetically, hi Abdul. Energetically, the same thing applies, but if we're looking upon from an energetic point of view, so energetically, your energy being is your energetic makeup is based on your thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and convictions. Okay, your paradigms that makes up your energetic makeup, as I'd like to say, your energetic field. Hi, Chetan, my lovely. So because that makes up your energetic makeup. Now, if that's the case, can you imagine? Can you see the same thing applies here? So the way you look upon things, yeah, it's live for learning. So it is. I decided to jump on live because of somebody kept asking me the questions. So I thought I'd jump on and sort of answer these questions for you guys. Anyway, Coming back to this, so now energetically speaking, because your parents had this certain way of thinking, certain thoughts and ideas, certain beliefs, you have taken on and adopted your parents way of thinking, your parents ideas and justifications and behaviors, right? So you energetically, you are replicating your parents energy. Hi Sabrina. And for that reason, because you are replicating your parents energy, your energetic makeup is similar to that of your parents. Now, if your genetic makeup is similar to that of your parents, can you remember, if from the law of attraction point of view, your law of attraction is actually the law of vibration, right? So if you have a genetic energetic makeup which is similar to the energetic makeup of your parents, can you see you're on the same vibration as your parents, and therefore you're attracting the similar sort of circumstances to that of your parents? Does that make sense? Right? So that's what, for you to understand what I mean by, your blocks. Now, what's really, really key, and I've worked now with thousands of people, thousands of men and women both, by the way, and I actually work with high-end coaches, consultants, CEOs now, and I have worked on a one-to-one and group format with over 2,000 coaches, consultants, CEOs now, and I've seen this across the board. Now, one thing I'll tell you, which most money people or law of attraction people are not telling you: just because you sit in a room and chant affirmations all day, it's not going to get you the results. It really isn't. Okay. The reason why you're not seeing that kind of results you want, so you say, oh, law of attraction doesn't work. Let me make it very clear to you. The law of attraction is working all the time. What you mean, or what people, when people say law of attraction is not working, they say what they actually mean is law of attraction is not working in their favor. It's not giving them what they want. That's what they mean by law of attraction doesn't work. Law of attraction works all the time. That's one of the laws of the universe. You can't escape it, right? It's like the law of gravity. You fall off the jump of a building. Doesn't matter if you believe in a law of gravity or not. You're coming down. You're not going to go up, right? So it's one of those laws of the universe. You can't escape it. You really cannot escape it. You just have to use the laws in your favor. Now, one of the easiest ways to get yourself in alignment with what you want, hence get the law of attraction to work with you, is to focus on your money blocks. And most of your money blocks are coming from your childhood traumas. I specialize in that. So when somebody comes to work with me, I know I'm going to get you money. Money's not a problem, okay? But I make it very clear to people, you need to understand what's blocking you. It's not the lack of strategy, because I promise you, the kind of people come to me, they already have strategy down, okay? It's not your lack of strategy. It's not lack of resources. It's not lack of ability. It's not lack of effort, because people say, well, maybe I'm stuck in procrastination. Maybe I don't have the right mindset. And yeah, all of those things combined could be a factor. But it's a factor. Your major issues, I mean, those are probably symptoms, as I like to say. It's like saying, I have, I've got the sneezels. I'm sniffing all the time. I'm coughing all the time. I'm feeling dizzy and I've got high temperature. Those are the symptoms. What you actually may have is either flu or, more likely nowadays, COVID, right? So your actual cause is something else. A lot of the people miss the root cause. Now, another one of the major traumas which I talk about, which nobody talks about, and it really, honestly, it really surprises me why people are not speaking about this more, which is actually abuse. So if you have experienced physical, verbal, emotional, or sexual, or even financial abuse, that's going to be a major trauma for you. That's going to be a major money block from you. Until and unless you've healed that, until and unless you address the issues associated with it, what you've learned from it, what you internalized from it, and what you dealt with it, you cannot move ahead, and you will have difficulty bringing money in. And it's very difficult for people to understand, thinking, oh, well, how was it me being bullied at school going to impact my money when I'm 40? I promise you it will. Until you've addressed those particular emotional traumas, they will work as money blocks. Now, that next leads me to the question, what do I actually mean by energetic money blocks? Okay, this is what energetic money blocks are: emotional traumas from various parts of my life, which is impacting my savings and my debt and my income and so forth. But what do you mean, Gull, by when you say I have money blocks in my energy fields? Well, let me give you my perspective. Okay, let me explain it to you the way I see blocks. Okay, so when I look upon your energy field, I will see a block. It could be a physical manifestation of it. So it could be seen as a dagger. It could be seen as I've seen it as a sword. I've seen it as a nail. I've seen it as, as a chain. Okay. A lot of the times, you guys are, corded into things and people and situations, and you don't know. If you've had a major financial trauma with an ex-partner, it could be a romantic partner, could be a business partner, could be a parent, could be a sibling, could be a relative. If you've had any kind of traumas, financial traumas with any of these individuals, they have corded into you or you've corded into them, and that is going to hold you back too. Okay, there's such thing as energy vampires. So if people cord into you, these are like chains. I see cords as chains, as heavy metal chains, and then there's massive ones. If someone's corded into you or you've corded into someone, you're going to actually be drained of energy. You feel tired. You begin to feel more and more tired. Why? Because your energy is being drained away. These are energy vampires. Now, people don't want to understand this or address it. This sounds too woo for them. I promise you, the way I show you things, it won't sound woo-woo. It'll make logical sense, okay? And maybe not so much logical sense until you experience it. A lot of time, when you're working with energy, you have to put logic on a shelf for a moment and just let it sit there for a minute and just humor and just be open to the new possibilities. Okay, our logical minds are very small and very narrow in our understanding and our capacity to understand. What we can do is when we actually experience these. So when I do energy tours, I don't just give you random things from a book or tell you go and do this and whatever, and that's what it means. I allow you to experience it. So the best way for you to experience what it feels like to cut away or pull away from an energy vampire is to do cord cutting. So this is the reason why, if you see one of it over here, there's a link there to my upcoming workshop. In all my workshops, money mindset workshop, which we do in various versions of it, in all of these workshops, I give you a tool called cord cutting. Okay, where we use these cord cutting tools to cut cords with energy vampires. Now, energy vampires could be people, could be situations, could be even inanimate objects like cars and houses and laptops and phones. It could be a whole heap of stuff. Okay, you'll get a better understanding at another time. Maybe I'll do another live on what energy vampires are and what means behind it. But this is for you to understand for the time being. These energy blocks which I'm referring to are actually physical manifestations in your energy field. So it could be seen as a cord, it could be seen as a chain, could be seen as a dagger, could be seen as even a pit of fireball. That comes to mind as well, right? Because they're actually stuck in your energy field. And once we remove them, now the beauty of it is, because when I do my energy clearings, people feel physical symptoms. So that's something else which surprises a lot of people. So I always say, if you resonate with my energy, and you'll know, you either love me or you hate me. You either think I'm the most craziest person on the planet, like who is she? She's Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes, where did I come out with that from? Looney Tunes, I think. You either think I'm completely loony and completely off the road, or off the rock, completely crazy, or you think, oh my God, Gull, where have you been all my life? I get two versions. So I always say, I'm like Mama. You either love me or you hate me, right? And I don't like Mama, by the way. So just to let you know. So reason being, because I'm either going to speak to your soul and you're going to say, Gull, where have you been all my life? I need to, this makes complete sense to me. I understand. I need these tools. Or you're going to say, go and see again. Go and get yourself checked out by a psychiatrist. Either way is fine. It's okay. I don't mind. But what I want you to understand is, you're not, if you've been building a business and you've been building it for the last, at least for the last 3 months to 6 months, and you've been stuck at a certain level, you'll have inconsistent income, then I'm going to tell you, it's not your strategy, it's not your platform, it's not your way of doing business. It could be you are now at your top end of your financial thermostat, or most likely you have energy blocks which come into being. All right. So what I'm going to suggest to you all is, come along to my Money Mindset Makeover workshop. It's free this time around. We normally do this as paid workshop. We're doing it for free this time. I think by the looks of it, probably the last time we do free, because we want to do something for everybody. And I had so many requests for us to do it this way around, and I have. So it's literally no brainer. You come and join me this coming weekend on Saturday, Sunday. Spend just 2 days with me from, we're going to be running it from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. UK time. So we can, accommodate our American friends as well as our Australian friends. Come along to this workshop. Join me live in these 2 days. And in these 2 days, I promise you, if you don't understand what energy work is, you'll get familiar with it. Two, you'll understand what's been blocking you up until now. I can almost guarantee it. It's not going to be a strategy. It's not going to be lack of resources. It's not going to be lack of, your ability to do it. It's going to have something to do with your internal mindset. Now, you've heard this term a lot, mindset, and that I do work on your mindset. I call myself money mindset expert, right? I do work on your mindset, but the only difference is I'm not going to give you some, affirmation, trail affirmations to do or some other things to do. I work on your energy. The beauty of energy work is you actually can do energy work and energetically, take quantum leaps forward in your careers, in your businesses, and in your way forward. Reason is, when you work on your mindset, it's a very slow process. You have to, as slowly as you change your mindset, your energy changes. Now, that's good, and a lot of people can get results with that, but it takes a long time. Now, imagine the other way around. With energy work, your conscious mind is put to one side, is bypassed literally. We go into energy, change your energy, remove the old energy, put in the positive energy. And what happens is, for a little while, by the way, your conscious mind, like, what's going on? Oh my God, what's going on here, right? For a little while, your conscious mind is confused. Yes, it is. But after, it takes about 48 hours to 72 hours for the new energy to integrate. But once that happens, all of a sudden, without additional willpower, you start seeing things differently. You start believing things differently. You start behaving towards differently. And I always say this: when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It's a very, very famous quote, and I love it because of this reason. So what actually energy work does, it allows you to start looking at things differently. It changes your mindset without willpower, without extra effort, without spending those 10 years trying to accomplish it. This is the beauty of energy work, and this is what I want for you. So I highly recommend, if you're interested in working out what money blocks is, especially if you've been stuck at plateau at a particular income level and you want to move ahead, if you want to know how you can use energy tools, which are extremely powerful, and especially if you resonate with what I'm saying, if you resonate with me right now, this is key. If you don't like what I say, if you don't like me, there's no point, because I can't do much for you. But if you like who I am, if you like what I'm saying, then come along, join me in this workshop, and let's get this going for you, okay? Now, I highly recommend you, if you want to come along, there is a VIP option. If you want to take the VIP option, brilliant, take that, because then you'll be in the Zoom room with me and I can be talking to you and I can answer any questions for you too. So I'm being very transparent. And one thing about me, you'll know, I'm very, very transparent about everything I do. So that option is available. Once you register, there's an option for you to upgrade to VIP. If you want to, go ahead. You don't have to, right? This workshop is powerful as it is. And those of you like Jet and a few others who've attended this workshop can actually tell you how powerful this workshop is. There's no fluff. I'm very direct to the point, and I'm going to give you information that I believe is correct because of my vision, because of my ability to see. Otherwise, I don't say it. I'm not giving you information from books. The reason for that is because if I want to give you the information from books, you can go and read the books yourself. There's no need for you to be speaking to me or coming and looking at what I'm teaching you. This is important for you if you really, really want to change your ideas of what's possible for you. If nothing else, this weekend will give you the breakthrough that you need. And by the way, another reason why we did this free this time around is I think it's really required. It really is. With the inflation going through the roof, with everything going crazy, you need to understand you can take charge of your financial life, and you can take charge of what works for you, and you know how to become financially secure in your circumstances. Okay, because on one of the sessions, I'm going to even teach you. That's on day one. Actually, at the end of day one, I'm going to tell you how to use the money you already have to attract more money. And I promise you, I'm going to give you a strategy that works like clockwork. Every single person who's implemented this strategy for at least 3 months has seen results. It's almost guaranteed. The reason why I don't guarantee, because I can't see if you're implementing it properly. But I promise you, if you implement that strategy, that's one strategy alone that we do at the end of day one, your finances will be much better off 3 months from now, because you need at least 3 months to implement the strategy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed understanding what money blocks are from my point of view, the physical manifestations, and I hope you now have a better understanding of what I mean by money blocks. Any questions, drop me in the comments and I'll come back and answer for you. And I hope to see a lot of you in the Money Mindset Makeover workshop. The link's somewhere there in the description, top right, left, right, I don't know, somewhere around here. Come along, click on the link, and let's get cracking with this Money Mindset Maker workshop. I'll see you soon. Bye.